Hello, world. Welcome back to the channel. So, Turki Alalshikh announces a card in the UK. Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Connor Benn. Of course, this is the glorified rematch supposed to be between the two fathers, Nigel Benn, of course, uh, Chris Eubanks Sr. from back in the days. But with that being said, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's on PPV. What the fuck? My only thing is this, and you guys know, I don't complain about fights or anything of that nature. But this fight being on PPV, why? Because of the engagement and the fierce fight between their fathers. This fight would be nothing like the that their fathers had. It would be nothing like that. Guys, have you guys really looked at Connor Benn since the Clommy Fiend, the quote unquote eggs? His last fight or last two fights, he has looked fucking horrendous. And you can tell when a fighter has been definitely on steroids because he looked nothing like he did his past two fights or prior fights at all. He looked terrible, right? I don't know, Chris Eubank Jr. haven't fought in a minute, but the thing is this: UK people and people across the pond always talking about the type of fights that Americans buy. But now you guys are getting Eubanks Jr. and Connor Benn. You guys can never ever talk about what Americans pay for because this shit is trash, especially if it's going to be on PPV. And it looks like it's going to be on PPV. This is by far one of the worst fights to probably touch PPV as a main event. Chris Eubanks Jr., good fighter. I think he's actually a great fighter. But Connor Benn, drug cheat, and he hasn't looked the same since, being caught and still haven't even proved or gotten a word from the testing company over there. Man, this is trash. I don't complain about fights, man, but this fight here don't deserve to be on PPV. Now, will I watch it? Of course, I'm a big boxing fan, right? Um, Pay-per-view wise, unfortunately, I have I already have the zone on my TV anyway, so I'll definitely watch it. But for as a boxing fan of you guys, if I'm talking about a fight, I'm in on this fight, I'm zoned in on this fight. This fight is not for me, so I can't do that because I know that many people are probably having the same thoughts that I'm having. And I remember for a long time, people over in the UK always talked about the different type of fights that we pay for over here. But it's funny to me, it's funny to me that this has transpired. Honestly, honestly and candidly, I can't name one person who I know who said, okay, well, I like this fight and it's going to be on pay-per-view, right? But they always talk about what the Americans are willing to pay for. If the UK people are willing to pay for this fight, and this fight is definitely past its time, not you, Chris Eubanks Jr., but Connor Benn definitely haven't looked the same since him taking the clomiphene, quote unquote, from eggs. Man, you can't ever talk about what the US pay for. This is by far the worst fight to be if it's going to be the headliner. If this fight is the headliner, by far the worst fight. But guys, you let me know what you think in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm out. Love, peace, happiness, and hello, world.